Before we get started, do consider subscribing to the channel because, well, this is one of those pieces of old agricultural knowledge that once powered entire farms, monasteries and homesteads, yet today it's almost completely ignored. Long before bottled fertilizers and synthetic feeds, one humble herb quietly fueled explosive plant growth, healthier animals and richer soil. Add it once, manage it correctly, and honestly, it keeps paying you back for decades. The herb I'm talking about is comfrey, a plant so productive and so nutrient-dense that, historical farmers treated it less like a garden plant and more like living infrastructure. Medieval husbandry records, monastery gardens, and early smallholdings all reference deep-rooted herbs grown specifically to feed soil, animals, and crops. Comfrey was central to that system because, well, it pulled fertility from depths most plants never reach. Why comfrey was once considered essential farm infrastructure becomes clear when you understand how it grows. Comfrey sends a taproot several feet into the subsoil, reaching minerals locked far below the surface. Calcium, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, and trace elements are drawn upward and stored in its large, soft leaves. When those leaves are cut and returned to the land, those deep nutrients suddenly become available at the surface where crops can use them. How this herb drives explosive growth without chemicals lies in nutrient timing. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that force fast, shallow growth, comfrey feeds plants gradually. Its leaves break down quickly when cut, releasing potassium and calcium right when plants need them for flowering, fruiting, and strong cell structure. This is why historical growers planted comfrey near orchards, vineyards, and vegetable plots, rather than relying on imported amendments. The simplest way to apply comfrey in a modern garden is direct mulching, which, mirrors how it was historically used. Once established, comfrey can be cut 3 to 5 times a season. The leaves are laid directly around crops, fruit trees, or garden beds. Within days, the leaves wilt, darken, and begin feeding the soil beneath. This, in turn, suppresses weeds, conserves moisture, and delivers nutrients exactly where roots can reach them. For gardeners managing heavy-feeding crops like tomatoes, squash, corn, or brassicas, this method is especially powerful. Place fresh comfrey leaves at the base of plants early in the season, then repeat every few weeks. Over time, soil becomes darker and looser, and plant growth becomes visibly stronger without signs of stress or nutrient burn. Another historically accurate method is comfrey tea, which was used long before modern liquid fertilizers. Fresh leaves are chopped, placed in a container, and covered with water. The mixture is allowed to ferment for 1 to 2 weeks, then diluted before application. While the smell is strong, the result is a potassium-rich liquid that supports flowering and fruit development. Applied to soil rather than leaves, it acts as a fast but natural nutrient boost. In animal husbandry, comfrey served multiple roles. It was grown along pasture edges and near barns as a supplemental forage. Livestock consumed it fresh or dried, benefiting from its mineral content. Farmers also added comfrey to bedding systems, where it accelerated composting and enriched manure before it ever touched the fields. This closed-loop system reduced waste and improved soil year after year. One often overlooked advantage of comfrey is its permanence. Once planted, it returns reliably every season. Historical farms valued plants that did not require reseeding or constant care. Comfrey fits that model perfectly. It tolerates drought, regrows rapidly after cutting, and improves soil structure simply by existing. Its deep roots break up compacted ground and increase water infiltration over time. Establishing comfrey correctly is important because it is not a plant you casually remove later. Historically, it was placed deliberately at orchard edges, compost areas, or permanent garden zones. Plant it where you want a long-term fertility source. Root cuttings, or crowns, are traditionally used rather than seed, ensuring consistent growth and predictable behavior. For survival-minded growers, comfrey offers resilience. In years of poor harvests or limited inputs, it continues producing biomass when other plants struggle. That biomass becomes mulch, compost material, animal feed, or soil amendment without cost. This reliability is exactly why older farming systems valued it so highly. What makes comfrey truly powerful is that it bridges the gap between plant, soil, and animal systems. It feeds all three without extraction or depletion. This is not a trick or a trend. It is a plant that earned its place through centuries of observation and use. If you value historically grounded husbandry knowledge that actually works in the real world, subscribe to the channel and share this with someone who still believes fertility must come from a bag. These old systems endured because they were efficient, resilient, and rooted in understanding the land.